The River of Fate, a suburban Chicago restaurant. The past consists of building blocks to a splendid future. Conversely, everything we've done in our lives could have damning consequences from accumulated slights, failures, or poor decisions. Maybe none of the above. Greg Provost's past cannot be found in the aforementioned descriptions. His wife Caroline is vaguely aware of Greg's life-changing accident in a high school basketball game in Reedsville, Pennsylvania decades ago. That accident left him with a bad eye and thick lens glasses. For the first time, he confesses to Caroline that he was an extraordinary basketball player, and before the accident, he was slated to play for UCLA. Since high school, Greg Provost spent his life drowning in his past. As her husband rants, Caroline is uneasy at the restaurant before leaving for a city Christmas concert. The past is always prelude to the future, but the future is only seen by those who are aware of what is to be. A gypsy in the room behind the restaurant warns Greg in an eerie, trembling voice that he must not go out tonight because his life is in danger. Caroline and Greg travel into the city anyway, and later, after a wondrous Christmas concert, Greg is gunned down on a Chicago street by Marco St. Germain, a vengeful Reedsville High School acquaintance who was convicted of murder while in high school. How does anyone survive a spouse's murder? Caroline, given the new knowledge of Greg's past, mourns over his grave, thumbing through photos from his high school yearbook. Her uncle convinces her to join him on a Caribbean vacation to ease the pain. Caroline, driving to the airport, is caught in a violent storm. Her emotions are frazzled when the gypsy from the restaurant repeatedly appears along the murky rain-pelted road and briefly in Caroline's car. Even at the airport, Caroline spots the gypsy on the adjacent escalator. The gypsy is the omen for the unfolding story, and the unfolding story is the jet destined for the Caribbean landing in Philadelphia. Not in the 1990s, but in 1968, when Greg was a senior in high school. Several precepts drive Caroline and her uncle's arrival and time in Reedsville during 1968. Greg's killer, Marco St. Germain, is very much alive. Marco's ruthlessness transcends time. His targets are Caroline's uncle and a dispirited friendship with Greg that both demeans and denigrates Greg. It is Marco's continuing sexual intimidation against Caroline that is the nexus of evil. As in the future, Marco justifies his capacity for murder by rationalizing his own degenerate existence. Greg is young and innocent, and as in the 1990s, he falls in love with Caroline. Yet she is older, and the flourishing relationship has a different perspective. The tension between Marco and both Greg and Caroline is intense, culminating in a confrontation that springboards back to the 1990s. The plot converges in an even more horrific standoff with an ending that is trapped in a surrealistically handcuffed reality. The River of Fate by Robert P. Fitton is available at Amazon in Kindle and paperback. The audio is sold at audible.com. This highway leads to the shadowy tip of reality. You're on a through route to the land of the different, the bizarre, the unexplainable. Go as far as you like on this road. Its limits are only those of the mind itself. Rod Serling.